Hi everyone, it's Jim Puggy Amsis, and I'm here on Google Hang on air tonight. Something new I wanted to try. Had some technical difficulties, but it looks like I got through them here. So I wanted to take a little bit of time here to kind of frame what I wanted to talk about. Hi everyone, it's Jim Puggy Amsis, and I'm here on Google Hang on air tonight. So, something like I said, I wanted to try. So I got some technical difficulties. There you go. Looks like that got. So yeah, I got my technical difficulties all straightened out here. I've been on a bunch of these Google Hangouts with friends over the past 6 months. So I decided to do one on my own here, and I had a topic I wanted to share, and the one of them was about networking, but the title was actually Rethinking Networking. I have written about it, I've read about this topic, and tonight I wanted to really get into it. I wanted to invite some friends here, and I'm trying to do that, but it looks like I'm going to go do this um, uh, looks like on my own here. Um, so, so what we're going to do, we're going to go through with this. So here it goes. So I started, again, writing about networking. I created this strategy called the PAR strategy, P-A-R. P is for presentations, A is for attitude, R is for response. And start teaching it. It's a system you can do over and over again. And it's part of my book called Get Connected in the 21st Century, Online Offline Strategies That Work. And been using it, teaching it all over here in Ontario over the past number of years. And another important part was follow-up. And it's something that I feel that we all don't do that well. And I've really talked to a number of friends who really took ownership of this and been doing it really well, and I feel that I've gotten some results in just the fact of following up, and that's basically a whole talk in itself. But the area I want to talk about is more on the philosophy on networking. So the topic of this was rethinking networking. Why I said that is I think that we all think we know how to network, and we think we're doing it well, and we think we're really going through the process, and we may be getting results. But I really, really want to challenge myself and people listening to this or watching this is the fact we're doing it wrong. And here's what I mean. When you go out and meet someone, yes, you got this fancy business card, and you're all set up, and you got your pen and your paper, and you got all the, ready to give everybody what you do and looking for the ideal client. Don't you think that they want to do the same thing to you? I bet you don't think of that. And I think that that's something that you have to get over that's going to happen. So what you have to really look into is this way, is, yeah, you still have to go out and network, but it's how you do it and where you do it and how you do it. So you really have to step back and really audit where you've been networking. A good friend of mine, Tom Coffin, we talk about this all the time, and I did this, late last year. A friend of mine audited where we spoke and the results I was getting, and they were really commensurate as to what I was doing. And that was really kind of a shock for me, and I really, going into 2014, was like, okay, this is going to change. So I really cut back my speaking and really focused more on what was I doing with the services I were offering. And I'll tell you some of the results here that's happened just in June, July in a few minutes. So what I want to really focus on is the fact that you're doing this, and that's okay, ladies and gentlemen. But after that is the part of the relationship building. And what we forget is that it's a relationship. It's a business relationship. And the more you focus on that, the further you're going to get. I'll repeat it again. The more you focus on the relationship, the further you're going to get. There's a great quote, my friend, mentor, Casey James Compton says, walk in a person's shoes, but don't live there. I'll repeat it again. There's some big nuggets here, ladies and gentlemen. Walk in a person's shoes, but don't live there. You want to be in their space and understand who they are, because you only get one chance to make a first impression. And one of the things I've realized in what I've been doing past 10 years, yes, some of it might have been correctly and getting those results, but at the end of the day, is rebuilding that revenue, building that profit, building your team. And a number of years ago, I was on an amazing team, and as time went on, I realized I was only part of the team doing it correctly. The rest of the team was thinking they were doing it correctly, and no wonder I was getting results and booking appointments and going through that, and my mentors really began to work with me. But as time passed, same thing, is you are looking at what you're doing. And the scope of this conversation, rethinking networking, is you have to do that. You have to write down where you're networking. And when you do that, ladies and gentlemen, you will see the results. I think the main thing reason we fail is that we don't keep track. So moving forward is keeping track. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to get better at this. And you can do this simply by keeping a spreadsheet of where you're going, the results, and so forth. But the main part that should be ingrained in your head is a relationship. I'll give you an example. I sell services for Constant Contact. I'm a solution provider since 2011. So I have Toronto, in Ontario is my territory, North America if I want. And about 6 months ago, I met a gentleman. He's out in London, Ontario. We've met twice, ladies and gentlemen, twice. But because I made a very good impression with him, I was comfortable in stating what I did and how I did it, and knew my product. In June, he reached out to me. Literally in June, I was really hustling to reach a goal, and he registered and he started using my service. It was a very big account for him. It was a corporate account. And I was really, really thankful that I made that impression with him, that he reached out when he needed to. That's the power of relationship right there. That's a lot of stories, but that's one of the most recent ones. And how I did that is, we cross paths in Toronto. He gets my newsletter, very important. He gets my weekly newsletter, and he sees what I'm doing online. So the social proof was there. And you can do that too. The social proof can be there. So this is why I think this conversation today is very important. I've given you already 3-4 really great nuggets in the past 10 minutes. And the thing is taking initiative to do them. Now, I won't go that long with this, but I wanted to just focus on the part that there's a process. So if you're working on the networking on the part, presentation, attitude, response, you're doing the follow-up, and then you're working on that, and then you're calling people, picking up the phone, and you're calling people and follow up with them. That's the most important thing you have to keep doing, because if you don't, then you're always relying on new contacts, and that's okay. But people in the past are going to have opportunities that they need your service. So you need to get into a product of keeping top of mind. This is where having a good social presence. This is where having a good email campaign is important. With Constant Contact, our fees are literally, I think, the best in North America. And if you want to reach out to me, 111-21connections.ca. I can tell you more about that. So you have to figure that out, and I think that businesses have a huge opportunity now in the 21st century, ladies and gentlemen, to succeed. It's a point where we're very connected, but we have to get over the fact that we have to reach out and touch people. And in Get Connected in the 21st Century, again, I talk about online and offline, how they meet together. And that's so crucial, because if they're not meeting, then you're having they're missing each other. And it's like doing it over and over again, expecting a different result. And I've read a lot of amazing books. I have some behind me here. I've heard some amazing speakers, and that's great. I continue to do that. I put myself in the position to win. But at the end of the day, you have to step back and go, how much more do I learn? How much more of that answer? I tell you, here in Toronto, one guy comes in, the next one comes in. I just got an email. I don't know, some guy named Richard Robbins is coming to Toronto. Great. He's teaching, training, and offering people. It's amazing. I'm very happy for him. But at the end of the day, you have to take ownership of your business, and you have to get on that phone and know your product, and continue to reach out, ask for referrals. This is where I continue to read articles, like on LinkedIn, has some phenomenal articles. You can check out my blog, www.jimpuggiamsis.blogspot.com. Again, subscribe to my newsletter. You can go through www.21connections.ca. Subscribe to my newsletter, and you can get access then to my blog. But again, at the end of the day, is you have to take all these three pieces and put them together. I've had a chance to interview people, professionals on my Blogspot radio show since last July. Recently, I've done a number of interviews with Chala Dinkboy, Eric Swanson, Greg Turner, and they all have niche markets, but they all say the same thing. You really have to work on what you're doing and be conscious of it. It's all going back to getting pen and paper or an Excel spreadsheet and track it down. And I trust you. You do that for a little bit, you will be surprised. And I'm going to be doing this. I'm gonna relaunch a spreadsheet that I had a little while back that I was using, and I'm going to start using it again. And when you have it in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, it really works. So I wanted to take this opportunity again to give the frame of mind of rethinking networking. And it doesn't make me any different than yourself. The only difference is the knowledge and applying it. And what I find is that when you start doing that and teaching, here I'm giving you nuts and bolts, no fluff, all nuts and bolts here. It doesn't matter how many technical issues I had tonight. I don't know how I was going to get this done. Laptop I have, my computer is not working. So I have my laptop, and presto, I'm here. So I'm going to just review what I talked about here, and I hope really you take this into account. So in review, you got presentation, attitude, response. You do this over and over again. You have follow-up, follow through. You then continue to talk to those relationships. You ask for referrals. You continue to educate. You read books. You can go to my, again, 21 Connections, www.21connections.ca. Download. I have podcasts. I have videos. I have articles. There's lots of things. You can connect with me on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. Jim Puggiamsis, very easy, and do it that way. But really, at the end, when rubber meets the road, is to have a successful business. You really have to keep track. And I'll give you a story here. My accountant was very impressed with, sending him all information here earlier this year. And I said, 2003, my CA set me straight back then. And he goes, you did a good job. And it really made me realize that I kept track of what I was spending, what I was making, but I could have did further in checking what I was doing with my business. And that's the nugget right there, is if you gotta check your numbers. And something that we take for granted, ladies and gentlemen, And yours truly is no different, but I'm going to make an effort after this video. This video tonight was for me to really share this with you and really make it an impact. So I'm glad that I'm doing this. It's going to be I'm going to do more of these in the future and really give you some more insights on other topics. But I felt this is a good way to really get started on this topic. And I really thank everybody for watching this wherever you are. It's a worldwide opportunity to really level the playing field and bring you this information. So again, my name is Jim Pagiamsis. You can reach me at www.21connections.ca. All my information is there. Connect to my newsletter. You can find me again on LinkedIn, Twitter. Again, same name. And I look forward to connecting with you and learning from everyone else too. So again, it was a great experience to get in the Google Hangout on my own here. It was a little nerve-wracking, but I'm glad I did it. I'm excited to just get some of this information out to you. So take this information and do three things: learn, do, and apply. 3. Learn it, do it, and apply it. I will look forward to seeing you on the other side of a great connection. Have an awesome evening, everybody.